Hello, my friends, and welcome to Retro Dogfight, the podcast where old guys talk old flight sims. I am your co-host, Brian, and joining me as always is your co-host, Chase.
Howdy.
And your co-host, Denny.
Hello.
Oh, we didn't say roll 5.
We didn't. Not just I didn't get enough sleep last night.
You don't have to say it every time. It's just, you don't have to say it every time. It's fine. Friends, we have a slightly different show today. Slightly different because we're kind of looking back and looking not forward, but looking
to the side.
To the side. Currently, we're looking right now because we had kind of a surprise release a couple of months ago as we record this. So there's a group on Discord called the Air Dominance Project, and they are dedicated to basically the digital image design family of flight sims, EF-2000, F-22 Air Dominance Fighter, and F-22 Total Air War. And they're made up of people who have basically put like EF-2000 Reloaded and
Total 2.3.
Yeah, Total Air War 2.3, which is the Windows, the modern Windows version of Total Air War that you can get running on modern Windows, and F-22 ADF. Now, a couple months ago, as we record this, about a month ago, a surprise release hit Steam. Now, there have been murmurings of a new digital integration design account on Blue Sky with some little GIFs.
And you can yell at me on the Discord, folks, but it's GIFs. I'm old, I know.
GIFs. With some teaser images of a new F-22 sim. And then kind of out of nowhere, suddenly a re-release of 1997's F-22 Air Dominance Fighter, published by the new Microprose, just kind of dropped on Steam. Just out of nowhere. Just poof. Just what? Just, oh my God. And at first we're like, oh, look, it's going to be another one of these. It's in DOSBox or whatever this. But no. This is a reverse engineered, like re-engineered. It's not a remaster. It is not a remaster.
It is definitely not a remaster.
It is not a remaster, but it is basically a reverse engineered re-release of a modern Windows version of the 1997 F-22 Air Dominance Fighter with the what is it? God, I have it right here. The Red Sea Operations add-on, the expansion CD.
At least it has that.
Yeah. So,
just to point out, folks, how a lot of people are just kind of sitting back going, "Yeah, so what?" Look, we've been getting a steady flow of retro sim re-releases for a while now, and without exception, and Brian can back me up here, they are basically just a yo-ho-ho. If it's a DOS, if it's a DOS sim, then it's just dumped to DOS or DOSBox with maybe some changes made to the DOSBox config INI to make it run a little better.
Yeah.
Or even without consideration whether or not it runs like crap in DOSBox. Hello, Falcon Gold, which is nearly unplayable in DOSBox. Or if it's an old Windows sim, they just dump it with the similarly open source DigiVoodoo 2 or DX Wind, hello M1TP2, or they dump it with the half-ass community patch, hello EAW. So we've just had a long string of and Brian had a wonderful. I think he actually got the industry to change a little bit. You fought with Zombie Atari to actually not release the Gunship 2000 Where's My Abandonware distribution and actually make it a real CD based release. So the fact that we have, and this is kind of the lane that I was planning on taking over, somebody who the people who worked first of all, if the MicroPro is actually releasing something not in early access, okay, that's amazing. But secondly, you had people who have been working on the DID sims, re-engineering them, reverse engineering them, hacking their data files, just going crazy with them for like over 10 years. And they have built this. And by doing so, the sim itself, it's a middling sim. I like it. Yeah. I've always liked DID's art design and also their systems design, but it's not the greatest for me, but it's great. But it sets a new standard for how this old software needs to be released.
Agreed.
There's no excuse. There's no excuse anymore. And frankly, if I could go back and not buy any of those retro releases, I would not. I would not, because these guys have set the standard. You've got this old sim, great, sure, but it works with modern HOTAS. It works natively with Track IR, and there is not like a DG Voodoo 2 or DX Wind Wrapper in sight.
And if I may interrupt, the original did not have any kind of head tracking at all, like nothing. Yeah. Like EF2000, which came before this, had some sort of head tracking with like the early VR helmets, the VF1, VX1. Yeah.
I had that, and folks, you weren't missing nothing.
You can enable it in EF2000 Reloaded. It works in EF2000 Reloaded. It worked, which is amazing. I got it working. It's astounding. But they got it working in this one, which is amazing. Oh, and before we go, I want to thank Chris, quote, Christy Malwade, I hope I said that right, for the keys he provided that allowed us to play.
I just want to point out that thank you for the key. I had already bought it because I was fired up. And look, folks, there's some bitching and griping. There's always lots of groping. Yeah. Oh shit! I better put that away. Griping on the Steams. It's $20. All right. And that is pretty pricey for a piece of 30-year-old software that is niche as hell.
But the work that went into this,
I would pay if they come out with TAW with the same amount of love or EF2000 with the same amount of love.
Exactly.
I will give them $30. I will be day one $30.
I was going to buy this. No question, but it gave me a key. I'm like, all right, I guess we're going to cover it. I was just going to buy it. But he gave me a key. I'm like, I can't say no to that.
And if you're concerned about us getting free software, just keep listening, because we will definitely tell you the ups and the downs. Yeah. This is an amazingly impressive
technical achievement. Yeah, this is a technical achievement.
It also, and I'll get into this more later, it also puts you in a really weird mode, because it, like, using my hot ass, and it's supporting my ultra wide screen monitor, but it's a 1997 sim.
Right.
It's
right. So it is a beautiful adaptation, but it's a 30-year-old adaptation.
Yeah, it's almost 30 years old. It came out in 1997. So let's start from the beginning. This was the sequel. Now, I'm going to just be honest. EF2000 is my favorite jet sim. It still is. I feel it is the sim that straddles that line between what we've talked about between pilot sim and plane sim. I think it is the sim that straddles that line between the two perfectly.
And it had a monster campaign.
Oh God, yes. I think, and this sim does a pretty good job of that as well. I feel it just doesn't have and I'm still something of a dynamic campaign snob, which leads me to this. I got this when it came out, and then I loaded it up. I'm like, oh, it's scripted missions. Oh,
yep. And then I skipped it.
I did not. I bought it. I bought it because I loved. I'm sorry to interrupt. I bought it because I loved DID, and I'm like, oh. And then I still bought all their stuff because I wanted to support them. I'm like, I'm not really going to play it. And I wasn't. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
It was brutalized on ComSys IBM PC.
Oh, was it?
Everybody felt it was a, well, yeah, no kidding. We could have had Jesus Christ hand out like the perfect, and Allah and Buddha hand out the perfect sin. Right. Exactly. They could have, and we would have still bitched about it, but everybody felt it was a step down from EF-2000.
I did too.
Because
I feel bad about
the system simplification, which is just the nature of the nature of the aircraft you're flying, and especially the campaign. So yeah, that's why I skipped it, because I was a snob. I
was a big snob.
Whereas in March 1998 issue of Computer Gaming World, I reviewed it, and I gave it 4.5 stars.
Yes.
2026 Denny is not fully aligned with 1997 Denny.
Oh boy.
But for the time, I was pretty jaded. I did not overrate Sims. I think there may still be a open contract on my legs from Nova Logic, from some of the things I wrote about them in the day.
Oh no! Well, we're going to revisit those. We're going to revisit those at some point, friends. Don't you worry.
But I loved this. But I'm just going to get the elephant in the room out of the way right now. As I went back and reread my review, and oh my God, don't edit yourself from 30 years ago. Ooh. But as I read my review, there's a sidebar about the coming Total Air War. And this is a scripted mission sim. The missions are well done for the time period. They're good. They're interesting. They're surprise stuff. And thank God they included the expansion disc, the Red Sea expansion disc, because the original sim only had tutorial missions basically when it shipped. So you either played instant action or you played through the tutorial.
Wait, really? It didn't?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, there were missions, but they were all designed just to bring you into more of the capabilities. The campaign was pretty much a tour. You didn't have the Saudi tour and all AWACS stuff and all the stuff that's in there now. So, but the Red Sea expansion disc brought all that, because back in the old days, they used to sell you your Sims a bit at a time on disc, as opposed to a bit at a time as DLC. But there's a sidebar about Total Air War, which promised to bring in this awesome enhanced EF-2000 dynamic campaign, and did. But so I guess my first question on this is, hallelujah for doing an amazing port, bringing it forward, but why didn't they just go straight for Total Air War? Why did they do this version?
I think it's because this was the easiest one to bring. I think this was the easiest one to bring to Steam. I think that's why. I think this was the easiest one to port. I think that's why.
Gotcha. Well, hopefully that one's coming, because if you play this and you like it, and there is stuff to like,
there's a lot to like,
then you will love Total Air War. At least that was my sequence back in the day.
Yeah, there's a lot to like here. Let's start with that. There's a lot to like here. Now, getting over my dynamic campaign snobbery, I've been streaming this on Fridays. I've got about 10 hours into it. I've done just about all the training missions. There are a lot of training missions in this thing, you guys. Holy moly, there's lots. I mean, give them credit. There's a good manual here. There's a really good manual. It's not as good as the EF-2000 manual, but I'm a little biased. It's a good manual. And to give them credit, the plane itself has a lot of tools. Like, they want you to do well. The plane gives you a lot of tools, like shoot lists, and the game lets you pause and select targets on the attack MFD. You know, it's like they give you a lot of opportunities to do well. So it really is down to your skill, you know? So it's just a hard game. It's a hard game, but we'll get to that. So I've got about 10 hours into it. I just got to the first campaign, which I have failed the first mission 3 times already. Jesus, that 90s difficulty, y'all. They remind you of that real quick. But there's a lot to like here. I mean, there are a lot of training missions. They really want you to get familiar with the aircraft. They really want you to get familiar with all the situations of air combat and hilariously air to ground combat in an F-22. Just, what? Okay. It's like, okay, come on, guys.
Hey, come on. We were just flying F-15s off aircraft carriers in the micropros sim not that long ago.
I know.
It was the 90s, man.
We were taking out
also at the time, every fighter that was supposed to be air-to-air only eventually got bombs. The F-14 did, which, the F-14 was not a pound for air-to-ground, and it spent its last 10 years bombing things. So I think they just assumed that eventually you were going to get air-to-ground stuff in the real F-22.
Yeah.
They probably also assumed they were going to build the whole contract instead of like a fifth of them.
So. We just lost Chase, sadly. Discord is weird. I hope he can reconnect.
I'm gonna pause and edit this. Well, now that I've talked about editing, you're gonna have to.
No, I think he just came back. Did he just come back? Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, I just came back. It's
okay. There he is.
It's the headset, and it doesn't like Discord. So so podcast listeners, you didn't get to hear me for a bunch of time there. But yeah, talking about that 90s difficulty that you were mentioning. If you go to the boards and whatnot, you will hit a wall, I think, at about mission 3, because I'm reading everybody's like stuck on the same mission. It's the one that gets serious. I think it's the one where you gotta, in the first campaign, where you gotta protect some boats.
Oh no!
And it's got F-14s coming after you.
Oh god!
And even though they're 4th gen, you've got that big fat radar in the Phoenix. And you're the actual heavy hitters. They're protecting Hornets, which again are not all pushovers. And if you're not careful, you can drag in F-16Us, Raphaels.
Oh god!
Right? You can. So it's like, everybody's like, it's like, you gotta go on MCON 1 and sneak up. So. Like, one of the things I compare the difficulty to is like in these missions is X-Wing. Kind of got to do things a certain way, because you've got this really powerful fighter, but you're surrounded by hordes of lesser but still deadly aircraft.
It almost sounds a little F-19-ish, but also it sounds kind of like Thief, the flight sim.
Yeah, you do. I mean, the first missions kind of teach you the wrong lesson. You just put yourself in NCOM 5 and go ham. If you do that in this mission, which everybody seems to do based on what I'm reading, and you're quickly chastised. You are a stealth fighter. You are supposed to club baby seals without being seen. Well, there's a reason why you have 5 different levels of MCOM in this game. And that's just one of the kind of the subtleties you have to learn.
Well, friends, I'm going to make a suggestion. There is a SimTech strategy guide for this game that is digitally available. It is, I have the physical copy in my hand here. It's 446 pages, and it covers all these missions. It is huge. It is a beautiful guide. I'm in the middle of reading it now. It is a beautiful guide, and it covers a lot. I think it covers all these missions. It's an amazing guide. I also have
the. What's sad about the documentation here? It's got a pretty good manual itself as well, and there's a good old-fashioned Windows HTML help file,
which is so funny.
It's got a CHM file,
yeah, that's so great.
What's missing? There was a book, and I have this somewhere on a bookshelf. There was a book that came with it from World Air Peril.
Adversaries and Allies.
Yeah. And it gave you the scoop on every plane in it. And it was just, it was a decent book by itself.
I've got it over there on the shelf.
There wasn't a PDF of that in the
that's one of the few. It came with TA too. So TA is one of the few boxes I kept around. It was like a We Have Jane's at Home manual. It was pretty good.
I'm going to be honest. We had to bug them to include the PDFs of the manual.
Well, thank gosh the ones that are there are at least. But and that one's not necessary. If you've been playing Sims this long, you know the difference between an EF-2000 and a Raphael and all that. But
what's a trip is reading about those planes from the 90s viewpoint. I mean, that was 30 years ago. Yeah. It's like, to me, things like the F-16U and the Raphael and stuff. I was like, oh yeah. Even nowadays, to me, that's the new hotness. But shit, man, those are 30 years old now. They're just, it's like all these hot planes that we thought were just the Su-27s and they are basically 57 Chevys now, which is a trip when you go back and read those things.
No, I want to talk about the difficulty of this game and comparison, especially to EF-2000, because I have hundreds of hours of EF-2000 because it's my favorite jet sim. And I've played it a lot. And I wonder, did they make this sim arbitrarily more difficult than EF-2000? Because I have more difficulty doing things in the same things in this sim that I did in EF-2000, and I can't figure out why. Like, I
think it's the MCON stuff. It's the stealth. They are real. You mentioned Thief earlier, and I think a lot of these missions are crafted so you're supposed to sneak in from behind, do your stuff, and get out.
I'm not even talking about that.
2000, you can kind of go in guns blazing.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about dropping a freaking bomb. I'm talking about.
That's a skill issue, right?
Like, I could drop a bomb much easier, much more effectively in EF-2000 than I can in this game for some reason. I'm not even sure why. Like, it's almost the same procedure in this game as it is in EF-2000, but for some reason, I have a problem dropping a bomb in this game. I'm much less effective dropping a bomb in this game than I am in EF-2000, and it's almost the same procedure. Like, it's almost the same.
Why you dropping bombs? You should just be mavericking everything, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but
just maverick it. Dumb bombs are dumb, right?
Yeah, but sometimes that's what they give you, and it's like, okay, I'll use this bomb, but I'm just wondering if they arbitrarily upped the difficulty for some reason in this game when they. I don't know. Did they need to? Did they need to up the difficulty to feel more competitive to the other sims that were coming out at the time? I don't know.
I kind of felt that just by its nature, the EF-2000 was harder because
I didn't feel that way. I never felt
because it's because EF-2000 against a couple of Su-27s, you're in trouble. Whereas in at least in air to air in TAW, again, you're an X-wing.
That's
you
true.
just you mow fools down. I remember one in the same game essentially, but TAW mission. I shot down 13
Holy
planes.
moly.
I mean, it was like missiles gone, and then it was just guns, and it was just pure X-wing. And yeah, it was, which it's just like, wow. But yeah, I actually feel that the TAWs are easier just more because of the plane and the tools that you get and the situational awareness you get. Are you
using your tilde key, Brian?
Wait, remind me, what is the tilde key?
It's my biggest gripe. I griped about this in the review back in ancient times. I gave them the worst slam. I mentioned that Nova Logic did this better than they did. The thrust vectoring, which is automatic in the real plane, is you have to hold down the tilde key, or I was luckily with the awesome hot-ass support in this, HODAS, however you want to pronounce it. I like hot-ass because it sounds more, interesting.
Sounds more gropey, yeah.
But with you have to hold down that key to maneuver.
Right, that's right.
And then you can do all that crazy F-22 shit. Otherwise, it flies worse than the EF-2000 did. So
I like and then with the F-22 though, it's like if you're BVR, you did something wrong. I love just especially since it doesn't seem like it seems that every AMRAAM you fire is already Pitbull, as far as I can tell. There's no midpoint where you have to maintain the radar lock for AMRAAMs until it takes over. So you get true fire and forgets on those. So just PBR everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to admit, I do. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Now, I was going to say, I do love the shoot lists in this game. I love that you can create shoot lists. Not only, I love that you can either just hit a button and it makes the shoot list. That's fun. But I love how you can pause and go to your attack MFD and just left click the targets you need. That's fun. And I do like that you can hit the period key on your Numera keypad and it'll take you out of the sim for a minute and it'll show you your mission briefing and it'll show you what you still need to do. I really do appreciate that. EF-2000 did not have anything like that. So I do appreciate that you can quickly see what you still need to get done easily. So this game does, it's like it wants you to succeed, but at the same time,
it wants to give you the information. It wants you to provide you with information.
But it still doesn't. But it doesn't want you to succeed at the same time because it's made these missions so difficult. You know.
Well, yeah. I mean, war's not easy.
I know, but geez Louise. But
well, we also just went through a long series of games where you're flying one super plane against everyone. And these missions were designed very much where you're flying as part of a package. One of the nice things in here is the wingman commands, like your wingman. They don't do well independently, but if you tell them what to do, they're helpful.
Yeah,
that's true. Most of the games we've talked about so far on this podcast were in the days before there even were wingmen, or if they were completely AI. So
and then and try telling your new DCS AI wingmen to bracket right and see what they do. I mean they had working AI and wing command is an engineering problem that has been solved, people. But you wouldn't think so with our current slate of sims. Now you can tell them to bracket and they'll bracket, or engage others and.
The AI does well here. Really, like if you target some ground, if you target like, I need you to help me take out these tanks, they'll do it, and they do it well, and they use the right munitions and everything. It's very impressive. They do.
Yeah. So segue to that and the decent AI. Did you guys play the AWACS missions?
Yes,
I never got into those.
I played a couple of the training ones, and
I think this is one of the reasons that I like 1942 Pacific Air War so much too, is the ability to control the war from a high level.
Yes.
As we're communicating right now, I have two F-16s trying to shoot down the friggin' MiG-29M that blasted my EF-2000 out of the sky in AWACS. And it's an overhead tactical view using actual symbology of the day. And you basically just tell them to intercept, attack, that kind of stuff. And it gives you this whole strategic layer. And you can jump into the F-22s. And
you can?
And do the engagement.
Oh, I didn't know.
I think I need to do that. Yeah, that's cool.
I didn't know you could jump into.
I knew there was an AWACS mode, but I was always just kind of I don't want to be the armchair general guy. But that actually sounds kind of carrier commandish.
Yeah, it's fun.
I didn't know you could jump into the F-22.
If you like strategic, it's simple. It's certainly not going to make any of the harpoon guys happy.
Mono, or whatever. No. But still, direct the air wars, someone getting a little bit too close to your bird, vector a couple of punks out.
Yeah, it definitely gives you a taste of what Total Air War was going to give you when that came out.
Oh, okay. That was a fond memory coming back. I just looked at the UX in here. The AWACS and jump into the F-22 is coming in Total Air War. I think they added that there. I don't think you could.
So you can't do that here, but you could. You can jump
into them. The AWACS mode gets even better in Total Air War.
Yeah. In Total Air War, I knew you could jump into the F-22s, but I didn't think you could do that here in ADF.
Nope. I have made a mistake.
No, that's okay. They're so close together. It's easy to conflate them in one's head. You know, because I think Total Air War came out a year after this. I think it came out the next year, right? Like this came out in 97. I think Total Air War came out in 98.
Yeah, and you got a 15. Yep, you got a $15 rebate too if you sent in the proof of purchase.
I am going to be honest. Why didn't they just wait? Why did they release? Were gamers that impatient? Why not just
there
wait?
Are these things called financial quarters, Brian.
Okay.
Companies have to deal with.
Okay.
That answers the why they didn't wait.
They had probably just squeezed dry every penny from EF-2000 with all of its, various releases, and they had to get something out there.
The 18 releases of EF-2000 between EF-2000 and Super EF-2000 and 2.0 and TACCOM and yeah, so I get it. Okay. I'm going to be honest, I didn't even think of that.
No, it was fun that there were so many releases because the PR person for this was a friend of mine, and she'd be by the office like every 3 months with a new version of the Sim.
Nice.
Yeah. She later went on to become head of PR for PlayStation for a while.
Oh, wow. That's a jump. That's a big jump. So yeah, even though I'm terrible at this game, I think this game doesn't like me. I am not good at this game at all. But I'm going to be honest.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Oh, as I say, I enjoyed it a lot more the first time I flew it. I was surprised looking back that I gave it 4.5 stars because I decided I wanted to play it without being influenced by my time traveling past self, and I was getting frustrated with various parts of it. And then I read this glowing review, and I can kind of put myself back. And that Denny hadn't played Total Air War yet, and that kind of thing. But
and that's the thing. That was during my what the hell?
Huh?
Jeez, this freaking headset. I'm going to toss it across the room. What Denny had mentioned is that he is not the only one wondering why this was released. I mean, it might have been easier or whatever. Everybody is asking out there, why not TA? Because TA just invalidates this game.
Yeah, well, like I said, I think this was the easier thing to get onto Steam than TA.
Yeah.
And I also think this was kind of like a bellwether. Like, I think if this does, I was told if this does well, they will bring TA and EF-2000.
Yeah, and it's the same engine, so hopefully it'll be pretty easy. That it's kind of amazing. We alluded to it, but the HOTAS support in here, which wasn't even in there when this first shipped, right? It was in the first patch when people asked for it.
Yeah, and they did it.
They have been remarkably responsive. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you can go in and map almost all of the major functions to a modern system. I got a WinWing F-16, F-18 combo here, and I think there was only one thing I wasn't able to map successfully. It works really well. The interface could be better, but considering it was added in a patch, to assume that before just had supported a Sidewinder with a twist stick, which is all Brian will ever need or desire.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you say that. When it first came out, it didn't see the throttle on my Sidewinder. That's,
oh God, that's funny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was so bare bones when it first released. It didn't see the throttle on my Sidewinder. Because you mentioned the Sidewinder, it saw the twist and it saw the other axis, but not the throttle. But now I can use all three of my devices: my Sidewinder, my CH Pro throttle, and my CH pedals. It sees them all fabulously. It sees everything on the Pro throttle here. I've been using everything. And I've been using it on two separate devices. I also used it on my laptop with a Logitech, one of those basic Logitech sticks, and it worked great there too. Saw all the buttons on that stick, worked great there too, no problem. Oh, and I use a Tobii eye tracker with OpenTrack for the head tracking. Didn't even need any special setup, just boom, head tracking, no problem, out the box. Didn't need any special setup. Like, just again, I can't stress enough, y'all, what an amazing technical achievement this. Whatever we have to say about the game itself, again, the achievement of getting this technically, because getting Win 9X programs to run on modern Windows alone can be a bear, you know.
Even if it is, no matter how many wrappers or whatever you throw at it, there's there's invariably some timing issue or sync issue or some goofiness that's just really.
Yeah, and we have people like Darkened Room who are working their butt off to get things working, and God bless them, they're doing their best to get things working via DG Voodoo and all these things, and they're getting things working. They're doing their best, but this is not rap. This is not like a wrapper. They reverse engineered this thing to get it working in modern Windows. This is a modern Windows program. It's amazing. And then you see Microprose is going to release IF-22, and you're like, okay, where's that? How are they going to do that? I'm excited. No, I love that sim. Sidebar, I love that sim, and I can't wait to see what they do with that one. Are they going to wrap it in 86 box? What are they going to do with that one? I don't know, but I can't wait.
Right.
I can't wait to see how they bungle that one. Or is it going to work? I don't know. I can't wait.
Yeah, so back to this one. So you were talking about the missions being hard. What I found hard was looking at a sim that looked reasonably modern. Certainly performed well on my modern system, and then dealing with that 1997 flight model. And I'm glad I had the context of my old review, because it reminded me, I'm talking about the flight model being pretty good because it modeled things like energy bleed and a turn. Like the fact that you would even have to call that out at this point in time, like we're so spoiled that kind of thing just seems like the basics of, you're flying a plane in a sim. But it's like, okay, they did this thing that not everyone does. I think the Novalogic ones weren't good about that.
Nope.
Yeah, that was a relatively new thing in 97, I believe. So
admittedly, like at the time it was pretty good, but between the thrust vectoring not being automatic and the fact that all of the stuff that they have modeled, one of the things they didn't do was inertia. Like this thing's fly by wire, but the second you let go of that stick, boom, no matter what you're doing, that plane locks at whatever attitude and direction you have it pointed at. It's like, it's an on-off switch. It's not a variable. Whereas if you fly a plane like this in a more modern sim, an F-16 definitely gives you a level of precision you're not going to get in something with non-fly-by-wire controls. But there's that little bit of like, you stop turning, there's a little bit of like pulling back or slowing. It's hard to describe the inertia, but you know what I mean? Like the plane doesn't instantly stop. It reacts to the fact that the control's not doing it, slows down, and then locks into it. And this felt so digital and so,
on rails,
rail-y gaming.
On rails, as we called it back in the day,
that it was hard to enjoy the flying because I didn't feel like my flying skills were really being used authentically. But that's a problem for 2026, Denny.
We didn't have
back then was not having the vectoring.
We didn't do that, and we didn't have the horsepower back then to do any kind of fluid dynamic simulation. So it was all lookup tables and all very very digital. Exactly. You let go of the stick and it just, it responds the same way. So it doesn't feel like you're flying a plane. Sometimes you just feel like you're flying a screen, but that was just kind of a common thing back then. I'm trying to just think of sims back then that did have things like roll inertia and things like that. And I'm trying to think of like the first sims where I maybe fought, when you trained on these digital sims that, kind of have that stop moving the stick and the plane stops moving behavior. Danny, can you think of maybe like anything the first time you like ran into something where like you rolled and it kind of kept rolling?
Yeah, I absolutely do remember, and it would have been in 1995 because it was Flight Unlimited.
Oh, the Looking Glass
Looking
boys,
Glass.
Yeah.
Ah,
yep. That was my first review for CGW. And they had hired me, but I hadn't gone out there yet. I did it as a freelancer, like I was going to work there, but I hadn't started yet. And I wrote the review, and I was blown away. And then I get this call from Johnny Wilson trying to explain their rating system, and it's like, you really want to give this 5 stars? but then I convinced them that, like, for someone who really wanted to enjoy flying a plane in those days, like, it was a whole new experience.
I mean, it's Looking Glass.
So Flight Unlimited, it was the guy who later went on to launch the Xbox.
Paul. Was it Seamus Blackley?
Seamus Blackley, yeah.
Seamus was he was one of the launch guys.
Yeah, and it had computational fluid dynamics 1995 style.
Oh wow. I love the Flight Unlimited games. Oh, I loved Looking Glass. I bought everything they made. They're one of those publishers. There's one of those design houses I miss every day, like SSI. Like they're one of those houses I miss every day. Oh man. They were so great.
Yeah, but so flying this, the flight modeling is a little frustrating. I kind of love the level of systems details with the MFDs and stuff. I keep wanting to grab my mouse to control them.
Yep,
which you can't do. but just like the level of realism versus abstraction in the missiles and creating shoot lists and stuff kind of captures what an F-22 can do while keeping accessible and gamey enough to just let you focus on not getting killed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I thought they did a really nice job with the immersion and the system simulation and stuff.
Yeah. That's the middle ground there. They strode the middle ground perfectly.
Had a good cap lock.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, good
and they had the demo mode. All the kids love the demo mode. You just kick back and watch your suicidal AI pilots just fly through absolute streams of AA fire. I always got a kick out of that. Just this solid rope of red tracers coming up, and Goofy, the AI pilot's just like goes in one side, goes out the other side. A huge spray, a light shotgun of debris. It was always fun, tumbling debris. But yeah, that was cool. And as far as the looks of it, I am a sucker for it. I don't know why, but the way they drew their simple textures and stuff, I've always loved their boxy cities. They always had this.
I was about to bring up the cities.
This weird 3D effect it's probably just like a 128 by 128 texture, but kudos to whoever drew those.
I love the cities. They're like, it's a flat texture with like 4 3D objects placed on top of it.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It hits a sweet spot, even though they never fixed their Z sorting. So occasionally, like on the ground, you will see planes flying from many miles away under the ground because the Z sorting in the engine's worked. Yeah, all 3 of them from F-2000 on up. It has problems with terrain Z sorting. Oh. So occasionally you will see ground objects and other objects through the terrain.
Oh no, I never noticed that.
Yeah. Just one of those little foibles where we didn't have all the graphical horsepower we needed to do a full Z sort.
Is that a thing you notice if you look through the smart camera and you look around at the different objects? And
yeah. And the next time, like, you're at an airbase, go into external view and have a look around, and you will know. And I think they did a pretty good job on culling closer objects. So it's like you won't see like closer objects. It only applies to really far away. There's obviously a cutoff where they just said, you know what, it's just not computationally worth it to do Z sorting anymore. Anything for those frame rates, got to keep those frame rates above 20 FPS, right?
Especially back in 1997. Yeah.
Right.
Man. I guess. But yeah. I gotta say, I think this is a great sim and a great game. I mean, I still prefer EF2000. It's still my favorite jet sim, but I think for what this is trying to do, I think it succeeds for the most part. I mean, it's got some problems.
It's fine. It's just the release of it is just like it puts everything else to shame.
It does.
We need people, champions like that. It's like what the source code for EAW has been out for 20 years. And basically all the people who got a hold of it did with it was try to make it IL2 and multiplayer. Right. It's like, no, we already have IL2 and with multiplayer out there. Instead of, you run EAW to this day and you may still get that stupid 7217 error from the way that it handles graphics. And source code's been out there, and they've been more interested in like extending the multiplayer and adding planes and plane sets rather than having, these grinders, like you have here with ADF, just going in and making it, fixing it.
They should have done what they did with Free Space 2. That's what they should have looked at the Free Space.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
If you don't know what we're talking about, folks, the source code for Free Space 2 sidebar was released in, I think, 2001, 2002.
Yeah, 2001. Yeah.
Yeah, and those folks have taken and run with it, and now it runs I think you can run up to 4K. It's beautiful. It's fully moddable. It's gotten all kinds of mods for it, and it can run it with a full HOTAS and everything. I think you can run it in VR now. Like, they have taken that thing and improved the heck out of it. And then you look at EAW, it's like, why haven't they done the same thing?
And there's I'm not going to call them excuses because that shit is hard. And you got to devote like the Krishna and those other guys. You're seeing over like 15 years of work.
Yeah,
you can go over to the TA 2.3 site and see where it's a lot of the same hackers have been dealing with it. So like, even if the source code is out there, like for EAW or for Enemy Engaged, the EE helicopter sims, or even Bob 2. All of those have had source code work on them, but they've been abandoned, right? It's because it's hard. And if you're doing it for, a handful of very, very fussy people, you're going to drop it. So, again, kudos to the hacking team on this one for staying with it to the point where it is a reasonable and honestly, a level setting. It is a new standard in how all these old sims should be released.
They really have set the bar high. They really have raised the bar for how these older sims need to be released. So now, that's what I'm saying. I can't wait to see what new Microprose does with IF-22. Because they told me, I asked on their Discord, when's it going to come out? They said end of 2025. Yo, as we're recording this, it's the end of March 2026. It's still not out.
In software shipping times, we're still 2 years out.
Just another disappointment from the new Microprose. I'm sorry.
We got to give them credit on this one, though.
I know we got to give them credit. It's a win. It's a win and a loss. I know. It's the exception.
It's the exception that proves the rule,
but this did come from Microprose.
I know, but I know. It's just they're so frustrating. They're so frustrating to me. They're just anyway, that's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, same here.
That's all I'll say. But I think
this is what I was expecting with their B-17.
Oh God,
remake. I thought it was going to be something like this.
And what is going on with that? I haven't really been paying attention.
Well, they're all focused on their MSFS. Fortress now, but they were supposed to completely or give the same kind of amount of love to the old B-17-2 sim.
The one from 2000, 99?
Right. Yeah.
That one, yeah.
And they were also supposed to be coming out with another one called, I believe, the Bloody 100th.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Did they even did they even release the B-17-2 remastered, or did that just come and go? Or
I'm not sure. I've lost track.
They have there's like you can buy the original, and then there is a remaster, but it's a light remaster. It's more compatibility. It doesn't have all the updates of this one.
Okay.
Well,
hopefully
it's a new
this
Microprose.
one, y'all, if you liked these DID sims back in the day, go buy this.
Please buy this. Please
tell your friends to buy it. It is fun. You've played them in the day, you're going to be like, why didn't they do the Total Air War? But it's still, you will not feel like you blew $20 and hey, you paid $60 and $1997 the first time.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely worth it. But we would love to encourage Microprose to give this level of treatment to the other
something else.
And friends, if you want to see EF 2000, if you want to see Total Air War on Steam, buying this is the best thing you can do to make that happen. Seriously, it not only supports the hard work that these people did to make this happen, it shows the new Microprose that there is an interest in bringing those other two sims to Steam. So buying this is the best thing you can do to bring those other two DID sims to Steam. So please, if you haven't yet, please buy this sim, either on sale or full price, whichever is better for your budget. Buy it whenever you can to help bring EF 2000 and Total Air War to Steam, because I mean, I know you can get them for free and blah, 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 but bringing those things to Steam would open them up to so many more people that don't want to go through downloading them through archive and blah, blah, blah. Because that's just a lot more hassle for people who don't want to go through all that, and don't have the patience and don't have the technical, know-how and blah, blah, blah.
And they're delivering a lot more here than just getting it running.
Exactly.
Exactly. Others.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes.
And I rarely say, be like Chase, but in this case, be like Chase. He could have got a free copy. He bought it anyway to support it. So.
And I was going to buy it. I was going to buy it, but he gave me a key. I'm like, I can't say no to this. I couldn't say no.
I think this is the first sim too where all three of us are shilling it. Seriously.
I did say at the beginning, my God, I've been getting free computer games since 1990. It does not affect my review, but we talk about the nits, we talk about the things we'd like to see done better, but overall, this is just a beauty of a restoration.
Mm-hmm.
The B-17 one, by the way, was Mighty 8th Redo or Redux. And yes, we will be critical of Microprose. Show that team what this team did and tell them to start a pattern.
Yes, new Microprose, please give this team more money and support to bring other old sims to the forefront, please, because this team did it right. And if you give them more support to bring other old sims to Steam, these people can show other folks how it's done. So please keep supporting these people, and friends who are listening, please buy this one. We're all telling you to buy this one because, again, we want to see EF 2000 come to Steam. We want to see Total Air War come to Steam.
In this shape,
in this,
we want to see this level of enhancement
and support
to Pacific Air War and European Air War.
Yeah. I want it done to damn everything. I want them to go back. I
don't want to have to fight for a gun like Gunship 2000. I don't want to have to fight Atari like I did with Atari
You know,
Yeah, well,
let me make me uninstall 86 box from my computer. I'm tired of jumping through hoops to get Sims to run the way that they're supposed to run. So,
yeah.
You know what I would like to see is, because the source code is out there, is somebody to pick up the two Rowan Sims again, to pick up Mig Alley and Mig Alley and Battle of Britain 2. Those are crying out. The source code's out there, folks. Battle of Britain 2 actually got worked on for quite a while. It was dropped about 10 years ago. But yeah.
Those are both great Sims. They definitely could use more love, especially since the Mig Alley campaign kind of breaks at some point.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
I don't think a lot of us back in the day ever got that far, because we were so I didn't anyway, because God, we were so inundated with stuff there
were so many Sims to play. We were awash in great. We didn't know how lucky we were back then, that we were just awash in amazing
buffet, man.
Oh my God, we did not know how blessed we were back then. We had no idea. Oh. Speaking of, no, go ahead. What are you going to say, Denny?
Oh, no, it's fine. Go ahead.
So speaking of, so friends, we were doing this chronologically. We were, but we have decided to jump around a little bit more because chronologically it was kind of wearing us down a little bit.
Yeah.
And so we're shifting focus a little bit. By the way, I don't know if you guys realize we've been doing this a year now. Did you know that? We've been doing this for a full year now.
To us.
Yeah, the last episode was a full year. I didn't realize that. And so we've been doing this a year.
And as Denny discovered, even AI has noticed us in its Moloch like maw of blind consumption. You can ask about us, and it So.
The funny thing was I was testing out Gemini's new personalization feature, and and I just briefly linked it to all my docs, and then I said, and then it said, "Would you like me to suggest things like movies or podcasts?" I'm like, "Yeah, podcasts," and it gave a detailed description of this podcast, and it said one of the hosts even shares your name.
Yeah, that blind consumption of data.
I think that's so funny because the last time I used Gemini, it told me Gunship 2000 had fantastic multiplayer. So,
it does.
ChatGPT made up entire versions, entire C64 ports of Sims that didn't exist, but it even talked about what user complaints were about it and stuff for a version that was never ported.
Just tripping.
My God.
They're kind of terrible. By the way, I just loaded Afterburner with F-22 running. Solid, straight, 100 frames per second.
Oh.
Can you imagine what we would have thought back then?
We would have bitched about it.
It's so smooth it doesn't feel real.
Yeah, exactly. It's too smooth. The human eye can only detect 24 frames a second.
This is not what the real plane would feel like. Person who's never been in a real fighter plane ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, we would have bitched.
So speaking of Gunship 2000, since we're not going chronologically anymore, we have to. Well,
that's called a segue, folks.
Segue, and I'm terrible at those, so I apologize. I have decided that we're going to cover our favorite Sims, and we're going to start with mine. So next time, we're going to do Gunship 2000, my favorite flight sim ever. I am so excited, you guys. I'm so excited.
I'm excited to play more than the 5 minutes I put into it when it came out.
Oh God!
I'm gonna reread the strategy guide, one of my prized possessions that is impossible to find, but I found one a couple years ago. I'm gonna reread it. I can't wait.
He had to beat up some old homeless guy to get it.
No, I had an eBay alert for it for like 2 years, and then right around my birthday. One popped up and my wife was like, "What do you want for your birthday?" I'm like, "I want that." And it was $50. And I'm like, "I want that." And she's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yes, that's what I want." So that's what she got me.
Nice.
You can't find them on Amazon. You can't find them on eBay. Like, I'm serious. They are hard to find. I'm looking for a second one so I could pay someone to digitize it because, again, they are hard to find. So yeah, next time we're going to go in order, cover it. Like, we're going to do a little chronologically. We're also going alphabetically. So we're going to do mine, which is going to be Gunship 2000. Then we're going to do Chases, which is European Air
One
War.
of the Nova Logic sims. Yeah, no.
We're going to do chronological. So we're going to do Denny's, which is 1942 Pacific Air War, and then we're going to basically do the follow-up, which is Chases, which is European Air War. So we're basically going to do some old school micropros love. All our favorite sims are old school micropros, which says something about old school micropros, really. Because God, they were the best. God,
they rocked. Yeah,
they were just God.
And then when you were tired of flying flight sims, you played Civilization 2.
Yeah. Or Pirates, or Covert Action, or
Alpha Centauri,
or Darklands.
Yeah, there you go.
Or Darklands, if you could ever survive out of town. No, I never made it out of the town. In Darklands. I would always die. Like, I stepped out of the town for like 3 feet and died every time. How hard that game was. So next time, friends, we're doing our 3 favorites, starting with Gunship 2000. I'm so excited to play more Gunship 2000. I love Gunship 2000 so much, you guys. I can't wait.
I'm excited to play it again because I'm like, I literally, we got a copy in at CGW and I played it for a second or wherever I was working at the time. And I'm like, yeah, it's a helicopter. It's not my cuppa. And I assigned it to Freelancer. So I will be approaching this game as a noob. So I'm looking forward to it because it's going to be great.
I know you guys love the Amiga stuff, but it doesn't have the expansion. So you guys are probably going to want to play the DOS version, because the Amiga version never got the expansion, sadly. So you won't.
EGA.
So you won't be. No, it's VGA, but you'll never be able to play. If you play the Amiga version, you'll never be able to play in the Philippines or Antarctica. So that would be very sad. That would be very sad if you played the Amiga version. And or if you want to really fuddle around, you could play the PlayStation version, which is basically a slightly upgraded port of the Amiga version.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Microprose made some strange decisions, like trying to get into arcades and consoles. So yeah, guys, that's friends. No, hopefully not.
Romans, neighbors.
Yes, friends. We're going to play Gunship 2000 next time. I can't wait. So again, we implore you to buy F-22 ADF, just not only to support all the work that went into bringing this reverse engineered game to Steam, because it was a lot of work. They spent years reverse engineering this game. It was a lot of work. But we want to see the other DID games come to Steam. And you guys buying this game brings it closer to making that happen. So please.
And it is cool. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at it as we close out the show at 100 frames per second at 2560 by 1440 resolution. I mean, what was the max at the day? Was it like 1024 by 768?
I think it was 1020. Was it 1024?
You wish. You were.
Was it 800 by 600?
Yeah, 800 by 600.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that was
in 97. Oh, that's tough. 97.
97-ish is Banshee-ish.
Oh, God, that's tough.
So maybe 800 by maybe 1024 on like a Canopus.
I think it might have been. Oh God, because I think in 96 I had to upgrade my monitor to play 800 by 600 Longbow 1. Maybe. Yeah. So it might have been 800 by 600. Maybe. It's hard to remember.
Yeah.
So it might have been 800 by 600. God, I can't remember.
Have to look up and see what 3DFX card was relevant in 97.
I think it was still Voodoo 1 in 97, wasn't it?
I think there were Voodoo 2s. You could slide Voodoo 2s.
Yeah, but I think in those days you had to have a pair of them in SLI to do 1024.
Yeah. To do 1024, you definitely had to do SLI it. Absolutely. Oh, God.
You were a rich kid.
Oh, I had 2 Creative Labs Voodoo 2s back in the day. Man. God, back in the day. That's why we talk about this stuff, because it was so great back then. So anyway, folks, next time, again, please buy F-22 ADF if you haven't already, just to support the wonderful work these folks did to bring it to life and to support bringing EF-2000 and Total Air War to Steam. And next time, we're going to play Gunship 2000, which you can buy on Steam and GOG. And boy, do we have a story to tell about how that happened. So thank you so much for listening, folks. We love doing this. We love the community we've been building around this podcast, which is on discord.retrodogfight.com. We love that you guys listen to this. And again, thank you so much. And do not forget to check your 6. We'll see you next time, everybody. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Later,
Over
folks.